Hello everybody. In the last videos we have started discussing about the various capacitors that are available with the, and also we have discussed the specifications or else the characteristics of the capacitors have been discussed in detail in the previous video. And in continuation of the previous video we'll discuss some other points relating to capacitors in this video. So this video is all about variable capacitors and the application of variable capacitors. Here we'll also see one point called as gang capacitor in this video. Okay, so as we have seen in the resistors are of two types. The basic classification is of two types, right? First is fixed resistors, second one is variable resistors. So those resistors whose value is fixed and which cannot be changed is called as fixed resistor, whereas the resistors whose value can be changed according to the application, that is called as variable resistor. Likewise, in the capacitors also we find this kind of classification, and this point we have discussed in the previous video also. That is, capacitors basic classification is of two types, that is, one is fixed capacitor and the one is a variable capacitor. So as the name suggests, fixed capacitor is a capacitor which has a fixed value and its value doesn't change according to the application. Once we use that capacitor, that value is all fixed. That is, for example, if we take the capacitor what we have seen in the previous video, that is like electrolytic capacitor or a mica capacitor, what we have seen in the previous video, there we can observe that every value, that is capacitance value, working voltage, temperature, everything is written on the body of the capacitor, including the working capacitance, right? So that is nothing but it is a fixed capacitor. That is, for a fixed capacitor the value is fixed, and in addition to that its value is written on the body of the capacitor, either with the help of some numbers or letters or any other symbols. So this category of capacitors we have been discussing till now in the previous videos. So in today's video we'll discuss another set of capacitors in this video. So the another kind of capacitors are nothing but variable capacitors. So all the capacitors what we have seen, like a dielectric capacitor, electrolytic, tantalum, aluminum kind, ceramic, mica, those are all come under the category of fixed capacitors. In today's video and in now, we'll just try to find out or just to know the contents or the topics related to variable capacitors. So variable capacitors, as the name suggests, which is similar to the resistor, the variable capacitors are the capacitors whose value alter, that is changes, when you vary either electrically or mechanically. So either if you change electrically, there is one kind of name is given. If you change it mechanically, another name is given to it. That is, so you can change either ways, either electrically or mechanically, the capacitance value can be varied. So the capacitors whose value can be varied is called as variable capacitors. In general, we know the point like capacitance is dependent on points called as C is equal to epsilon A by D. That is, capacitance is dependent on directly proportional to the area of the plates and also inversely proportional to the distance between the plate, right? So the concept of variable capacitors is implemented by changing the area or by changing the distance between the plates of the capacitor. So that is why when you see a variable capacitor, so I'll show you in the next slides. When you see a variable capacitor, you see some metallic plates, right? So either two metallic plates or some set of metallic plates. So those plates will be moving above one another, such that the area and also sometimes the distance between the plates will change. So this concept of changing the capacitance with a change in the area as well as the distance will give us a special type of capacitor that is called as variable capacitors. So here you can see that the variable capacitors in general will consist of an interwoven set of metallic plates in which one plate is fixed and the other one is variable. So from this you can understand that one of the plate will be fixed and the other plate will be movable. So the movable plate will be moving on the fixed plates. The amount of the movement of the movable plate on the fixed plate will give or will change the value of the capacitance of that particular capacitor. These two plates will be placed on both the sides of a dielectric material. So dielectric material can be of any type. So what we have discussed, like paper, mica, glass, ceramic, etc. So any kind of dielectric we can take, but by changing the area and the distance of these fixed and movable plates, we can change the capacitance. So this is how a variable capacitor will work. So coming to the range, so variable capacitors are available in the range of 10 to 500 picofarads. 10 to 500 picofarads is the range of the variable capacitors that is available, right? So when we talk about variable capacitors, we come across a point called as gang capacitors, right? So gang capacitor. So what is meant by gang capacitor? In some objective type questions also we may get to know, or sometimes we may be asked about what is meant by gang capacitors. So you can see a gang capacitor as a capacitor which is a combination of two or more capacitors that are connected together. So as you can see, for simple understanding, you can, once you see on the screen, the symbol of the variable capacitor is this one, right? We have two parallel plates, and on the parallel plates diagonally one arrow will be there. So this is nothing but the symbol of the variable capacitors. So when two or more similar kind of variable capacitors are connected together, then it forms a capacitor called gang capacitor. Okay, so a single shaft is used to rotate the variable ends of the capacitors, which are combined as one. Okay, though we have two or more capacitors connected, variable capacitors, but the movement of all the plates will be by a single shaft. So that is, all the movable plates will be connected to one shaft. In order to represent that, we have indicated this with a dotted line. So the dotted line indicates that they are, here you can see that they are connected internally. Okay, so when you get to when you are asked about gang capacitors, you simply mention that gang capacitor is nothing but a variable capacitor in which two or more capacitors are connected together, but all the moving ends are connected to a one end or will be operated by a single shaft. So in order to indicate that, we will be indicating with the dotted line. And coming to the applications, generally These variable capacitors are very much useful in tuning of LC circuits such as radio receivers for impedance matching in antennas, etc. So variable capacitors are mostly used in audio video communication, receiving and transmitting places. Mostly we use variable capacitors when compared with fixed capacitors. So now we'll see the basic classification of the capacitors, right? So there are many types of capacitors available with us depending upon the function, depending upon the dielectric material and the shape. But the main classification of the capacitors is done according to the fixed or variable capacitors. So as you can see on the screen, we have two basic classification of capacitors. First one is fixed one, the second one is a variable capacitors. So this point we have already covered, right? Fixed capacitors, in we have non-polarized and polarized. So non-polarized category we have seen except aluminum type. Every capacitor come under non-polarized, whereas aluminum kind of capacitors come under polarized category. Now coming to the variable capacitors, we generally have two major kinds of variable capacitors. First one is tuning capacitor and the second one is trimmer capacitors. Okay, so tuning and trimmer capacitors are the most commonly used variable capacitors that are available with us. Now let's discuss all these things in detail. Before going into that, first we'll see what is how a variable capacitor looks like. So as you can see on the screen, you see a variable capacitor here. So inside of which, as I just now told, we will have some set of plates. So interwoven plates will be there. So these are nothing but the interwoven metal plates. You can observe many number of plates are available, and this is the outside one. This plastic one is nothing but the shaft. So while you rotate the shaft, the plates will overlap each other in order to change the capacitance of the capacitor. So this is how one kind of variable capacitor look like. So when the capacitance of the capacitor based on the necessity to a certain range of values is known as variable capacitors. So the two plates of this capacitor can be made with metals. One plate is fixed and the other plate is movable. So these are available from 10 picofarads to 500 picofarads are available, and the symbol we have just now seen. And coming to the construction, now you can clearly understand this diagram. So this variable capacitor, you can see this. So here you can see the shaft outside. These plates are nothing but the movable plates, and these plates are nothing but the fixed plates. So when you rotate the shaft, the plates will be coming and overlapping with the fixed plates. So the more you rotate the shaft, the more the overlapping of the plates will take place. Okay, so the construction is like this, and the capacitance, these capacitors are generally used in different applications because it is very simple in construction. Okay, generally these capacitors, that is variable capacitors, are made with two sets of hemispherical metal plates which are divided through air gaps. So here the dielectric material used is nothing but air. So one set of metal plates is fixed, whereas the other one is connected to a shaft, so that we can allow tuning, turning the assembly. Thus the capacitance can be changed whenever it is needed. So the construction of each type of capacitor varies based upon its type. So coming to the designing of this capacitor, it can be done based on the working principle of a normal capacitor. So the conductive plates of the capacitor are arranged in parallel and are divided with dielectric coating composed with different materials, like either we can use paper, mica, or any other kind of ceramics can be used. So not like any fixed capacitors, these capacitors are designed to change the level of capacitance. In most of the cases, the variable capacitors can be achieved by changing the distance among the parallel plates within the capacitor. Okay, so this is how a variable capacitor looks like, and this is how it works. It is very simple in operation, and the range of operation is also very high and mostly used in the communication, transmission and receiving systems. Okay, and coming to the types of the variable capacitors, there are two types of variable capacitors that are available in the market. So the capacitance can be changed manually by using screwdrivers or any other special kind of devices. We can manually change the capacitance. Okay, so coming to the types of capacitor, here we can see I have given you 4 different types. We'll discuss all these 4 in detail now. Okay, the first one is tuning capacitor, second one is trimming, third one is mechanical capacitor, fourth one is electronic capacitor. Okay, so let's discuss all these things in detail. So this is how a tuning capacitor look like. Okay, so we just have a frame. On the frame we will have a stator and a rotor, and this is nothing but an shaft. Okay, so the designing of the tuning capacitor will be done using a frame, and this frame will include a stator as well as a rotor. The capacitor frame is just to support, is just to give support to the material, as well as like material like mica, as well as the stator. So when the stator is inactive, then the rotor will rotating with the help of the shaft. Here stator, rotor are nothing but the plates, that's all. So the name here we call it as stator and rotor. Those are nothing but plates only. Okay, so when a stator is inactive, then the rotor start rotating with the help of the shaft. When the movable rotor plates enter into the immobile stator, then the capacitance value can be considered as maximum or otherwise minimum. Got it? When the rotor plates, that is which is mobile, if the mobile plates enter into the stationary plates, that is immobile stator, when the rotor enters the stator, that is mobile plates enter the fixed plates, that is when overlapping occurs, then the capacitance value can be considered as a maximum, or otherwise we say it as minimum. Okay, so the capacitance value range can be provided from these capacitors, which range from picofarads to tens of picofarads. Okay, generally these capacitors are used in receivers of radios which have LC circuits. Okay, so there is another name for these kind of capacitors, that is tuning capacitors have other name called as tuning condensers. Okay, so in general also capacitors other name is condenser. Sometimes we call capacitor with a name called as condenser. So tuning capacitors are sometimes called as tuning condensers. Okay, got the point? Right, next we'll see the other kind of capacitor, trimmer capacitors. So trimmer capacitors is also known as variable capacitors, and it provides a basic calibration of apparatus when manufacturing or otherwise servicing. So whereas tuning capacitors are used in LC circuits and its application, whereas trimmer circuits are used as calibration purpose, calibrating apparatus, or while manufacturing or servicing we will be using trimmer capacitors. So these capacitors will be generally arranged on the PCBs, that is printer circuit board, so that the users does not have the right to entry to change them. Because of this, the capacitors are not expensive. These capacitors are generally used to set the values of oscillator frequencies, rise, latencies, fall times within a circuits. These capacitors allow servicemen to adjust devices when it is required. These types of capacitors are classified into two types. That is, trimmer capacitors are of two types depending upon the dielectric material. That is, air trimmer, we have air trimmers and ceramic trimmers. So this kind of capacitors include three leads, as you can see on the screen, where one lead is linked to the immobile part, the second lead is linked to the rotary part, and the last lead is left common. So the movement of the capacitor, the movement of this capacitor can be observed with the help of a semicircle shaped movable disc. The capacitor includes two plates, and these plates are arranged in parallel to each other by separating with a dielectric material. Okay, so this is all about trimmer capacitors and its type. Air trimmer we have and ceramic trimmer. And the next type of capacitors are nothing but mechanical capacitors and electronic capacitors. So let's see what is mechanical capacitor is. So these capacitors have a set of curved plates which are connected to a knob. The main benefit of this is the capacitance of the capacitor can be altered easily if required. Okay, so these are reliable when they are mechanical, as they are mechanical, because they are not complicated. Next one is electronic capacitor. So the capacitance of the capacitor can be changed by varying a DC voltage to them. The applications of these capacitors mainly include multimeters, resistance, amperage. Here the direct current is a kind of current supplied from a battery. Okay, so these are the different types of variable capacitors that are available with us. And next point is, what are the applications of the variable capacitors, right? So till now we have discussed some of the applications of the variable capacitor, like these are used in tuning of the LC circuits, resonance, setting the resonant frequency of the LC circuits. So we'll discuss some other applications of variable capacitors. Generally, trimmer capacitors are used where the capacitance value is needed to be matched to a particular circuit in the manufacturing process. Okay, the main reason to use variable capacitors is the components used in the circuit have own tolerances, so the tolerance value can be changed up to 20% from what the designer expected to notice in the circuit. So these capacitors are used to adapt these tolerances. So as they are better in adapting the tolerance value, so we can use where tolerances values can be need to be adjusted, then we can use variable capacitors. So these are frequently used in circuits like in microwaves. And variable capacitors are applicable even in the medical instruments like NMR scanners, MRIs, to generate extremely high magnetic fields. Okay, so even in the biomedical field we use variable capacitors. The most common applications of variable capacitors are what we see in our day-to-day electronic circuits, that is nothing but tuners, oscillators, filters, and mainly we see it in crystal oscillators. So if you go through the oscillator circuits, almost all oscillator circuits we use a variable capacitor there. For change, while we change the capacitance value, according to that we can generate oscillations of our required frequency. Okay, almost all the oscillator circuits will use variable capacitors. So, and coming to the other basic applications, like variable capacitors are found in communication devices like mobile radios, transmitters, receivers, aerospace, amplifiers, and signal splitters. Also we use variable capacitors. So these are some of the examples that I have noted down, and there are various and n number of applications that are available with variable capacitors. So out of them these are some. So this is all about variable capacitors, the types of capacitors, and also the applications of variable capacitors, right? So till now we have discussed or covered all the points, like right from the capacitors we have discussed the classification, fixed capacitors and its types have been discussed, characteristics have been discussed, and now we have discussed variable capacitors, and as well as the other applications of variable capacitors have been discussed. Okay, so I think I have cleared all the points regarding the fixed and the variable capacitors. So with this we can derive an expression for capacitors connected in series and parallel in the next coming video. Okay, so in the next video we'll discuss capacitors value, capacitance value when two or more capacitors are connected in series, or when two or more capacitors are connected in parallel, what will be the equivalent capacitance will be discussed in the next coming video. Okay, thank you.